just for me to talk about now, except ourselves. Thank you. I actually met Diane in 1970 when I was in grade 1 at the quoting school. You remember me?
No.
She came and she said, "Good morning, class. I'm Miss Liam." I liked it because she was a Liam and I'm a Liam. And she didn't look like that kind of teacher that was going to give me a hiding. We went off, we started off well. Let's keep it that way. Oh gosh, so all this almost chocolate. Okay, so once upon a time in Brixton, the Wild West, actually 57 years and 11 days ago, a child was born in Brixton. Not here, up there, in a tiny little room, delivered by Dr. Benjamin Chait. Now, Dr. Benjamin Chait was well known amongst the Chinese community because he'd go on house calls to Chinese people. You remember? Good. So, apparently this child brought lots of joy and happiness to this area here. There was a little young girl called Marianne that stayed in one of the semis there, came over every day, played with this baby. My mom made friends with all the tunnies around here because for this cute little baby. But 19 months later came a little girl, a little tough cookie. So this little baby was no longer a mini emperor. 16 months after that came another boy. Now, just think of this boy when I talk about it later on in this talk. Now the thing is, my mom was very depleted after that because my sister explained to me the reason why she is short and the third child was shorter was because she was depleted, because she didn't have enough time to re-energize herself. We all lived in a little cramped little room in my uncle's shop up there, and it was getting a bit cramped and they needed their own privacy. So what they did was, the corner shop, they subdivided so that behind that window, in the poster, slept 5 people, cramped like sardines. I was not very proud of where I stayed because we didn't have a bathroom. We had a toilet on the south side, no lights, scary place for a child at night. Small geyser, no bathroom, a kitchen over there that served as our bathroom on a Saturday afternoon. And if you use too much hot water, you'll have to wait half a day for more hot water. 1971, my mom disappeared for a short while. And we were worried, concerned, because mom was always there. And one night, my dad took us to close shop early and he took some chook and off we went to the Florence Nightingale nursing home because mom was there. And then a couple of weeks, came a little baby. The lighty. Yeah, so now there's 6 of us. We went to the Johannesburg Chinese school, we went there. But as a family, we ignored each other. We had our own little groups and we denied each other at school. But when we came home, there was a lot of chat. And one of my brother's friends said, quite honestly, he says, "You guys are poor, but you're happy." I was not upset at hearing this because it's true. We were poor, but we were happy. So people, there's no correlation between money and happiness. We find our own happiness here. I'm going to describe us as individuals now. Me, myself, this is what my mom said a lot about me. molehill, Janghill. Outrageous, nobody does that. You're doing things that you're not supposed to do, outrageous. And then people would compliment me on my height. It was sang go sang dai. There we go. Oh, so they said that about you as well. But my mom was, well, one good thing about me was that I took to the bottle very easily. Because my sister and the two brothers, you know, they battled with rubber titi and they didn't like being bottle fed. But me, no problem. Give Winston a bottle and he's happy as anything. True or not? True. Oh, by the way, I'm the only one in this family without a tertiary education. But never mind. Then there's my sister. She's got a BSc Honours. She's got a BSc Masters. She studied 2 majors, zoology and geography. So she did her honours in geography and she became a climatologist. And well, of course, you know, the family didn't know anything about being a scientist, mulching one. There's no prospect for finding work there. So I took her on her first interview to Pretoria at the Weather Bureau, rejected. I felt for her, I felt rejected as well. Then she got a job at the CSIR. I was really excited. And my sister's going to go to Pretoria. Limelight, Jacqueline's, what? Mom said, no, you're staying here. My sister, not upset. I was more upset than my sister. She woke up 5 o'clock in the morning, took the first bus to town, took another bus to Park Station, then took a train to Pretoria. 2 more buses, work. Night, reverse order. The first night she came back 9 o'clock at night. Ooh, let's make a plan. The plan was I'd pick her up, wait for her at 7 o'clock at Park Station as soon as she got there. This happened for a whole month in the middle of winter until my mom relented and said, all right, you can go, but you must come back every weekend. I'd like to hear more about my sister. I used to take her out and meet my friends. So I had a workmate, Tony Ravenscroft, and her dad was Mr. Ravenscroft. He knew me quite well, so I took my sister to meet my friend. Mr. Ravenscroft opens the door. Oh no, not you again. So my sister, hello my angel. That's my sister. Then there's Vernon. Now in the old days, what happened was in the shop, the mini mill came in a big bag and we had to repack them into paper bags. Same with sugar, same with rice. And we sold paraffin by the bottle. Customer brings a bottle, we pump the paraffin. And we did the same with bleach. The stuff they inject each other with in America, that kind of bleach. So the bleach was leaking and there was a little receptacle to collect all the drips. Vernon, he was still crawling around and he was inquisitive, touching everything, exploring. And you see this plastic mug? Explains a lot, doesn't it? That customers, they better give him milk, drown your milk, call the doctors. And I suppose that's why he's lactose intolerant at the moment. My brother, he has served the community very well because he's very dictatorial. Some of you will agree. That's Vernon. He's been chairman of Southern Transvaal Chinese Sports Association, Southern Gauteng Chinese Sports Association, chairman of SACSA. So I better not say anything, you know. Based on my knowledge, he's not going to appear in any inquiry and I don't want to implicate him in anything. We have Bruce. Bruce is the baby, Lord Lamiki. He was born, the only child to be born in a nursing home. I suppose it's because my mom became legal then, so he could go to a proper hospital and not be born on the sly. Yeah. I believe Bruce got away with murder because I don't think he ever got a hiding. He was allowed to play the guitar, play the drums, grow his hair long. He studied at Wits for BCom, majoring in marketing, advertising. But while he was at Wits, he joined Voice of Wits, fell in love with the radio, and now he's working for a radio station. Yeah, so shops has been well described by Diane. So I won't go into that. Yeah, Dad was a soldier, all that, covered. The customers called my parents Shorty and Shorty. Shorty. My dad's name was Huaitong, Atong. People, some of them that knew him well, called him Peng Kong, another word soldier. Mom was Shorty. And then I don't know from where they started calling her Maria. And then towards the end, she was called Magogo. Double 10, New Year, covered. And in those days, I remember as a child, they were busy taking out the tracks of the tram. They used to have this used to be a main line from Newlands to Johannesburg. And they were busy taking out the rails with trams. They stopped using trams. And with respect to the police, we actually had a very good relation with the police. Like I'm sure many Chinese families, we make friends so that they become less bothersome. On the corner, one of the semis was the warrant officer. He was a beast of a man. And there was a house, a full house, and I think this was quite an important brass because he wore a cap, had a moustache, very thin, and you could see by his demeanor he doesn't have to throw his weight around. So these guys, if there was any trouble, my dad would call them and problem would be sorted. My mom was born, according to her, in 1937, on the very day that the war broke out. So she was a refugee, and she fled to a place that she told me was called Tenghun. When I was in China in 2005, I asked my Kaofu, where's this Tenghun? He says it's not Tenghun, it's Chenghun. And I looked on a map, and it's like from here to Pretoria, but it was in the mountains. And the Japanese were less likely to go there. So my grandfather did menial work, my grandmother and she did the sewing work. And therefore, my mom is very anti-violence, very anti-war. So whenever we even tried to play fighting, we get a big hiding because fighting was not allowed. To end, I'm going to end with the word hard. This is a word that I never thought of using until some award journalist phoned me on Thursday night and did a Eusebius McKaiser on me with paragraph questions. And I said, Tamsin is such a romantic, isn't she? She says, yeah, but blah, 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 romantic, blah, blah, blah. And then he ended on hard. I said, yeah, it was hard, but then I went philosophical over the weekend. But everything is hard. Like for Kevin, Kung Fu is hard, but the result out of it, it's good for you. Gym is hard, but when you get your muscles, you don't think about the pain. University is hard, but the benefits that come of it, you don't think about the hard. No, but you talk about hard, yeah, it was hard. But it reminds me of a speech I gave at a friend's wedding, maybe 20 years ago. I said, my friend. There's a Russian saying that says, the same hammer that shatters glass forges steel. And as a compliment to my friend, I said, you are made of steel. And basically, we all have that within us. I know we've all been through hard times. There's going to be harder times coming through. We've been through some hard times, and now we're going through hard times again. I know there are some people that are going through worse times. I just go past the post office and I can see the desperate people there. So, if you're finding it tough, like my mom always says, there's people worse off than you. And if you experience a hard time, you've been through hard times. And with these few words, I leave you well.